Hey guys, my name's Sierra Schaefer, and I am the CEO of Evolve Women's Health and Wellness. And I have the opportunity of spending a couple minutes with some ladies that have done our past Evolve48 challenges. The reason why we started the Evolve48 challenge was to just build more community inside of our coaching program and allow more people to enter our network of amazing women in health, fitness, and wellness. I also have Coach Candace with me today, and I'm just going to kind of let her go over an overview of how the challenge works and what it entails, and then we'll chat with the ladies and hear about their experience. So Candace, go ahead and take it away.
Yeah, so I'm one of the assistant coaches here at Evolve, and the challenge has seriously been so much fun. We kind of created this as a very community oriented option for women to kind of address like several different key areas of their life that have a huge impact on your health and fitness, right? So we didn't want to just focus on, just nutrition or just workouts because, we all know there's so much more to being healthy and having sustainable results than just those two things. So basically, everyone gets a personalized tally sheet, and we create these tally sheets after at least a week of kind of observing, their normal dietary intake. What are their habits like? We gather all this information from you guys, and we create a tally sheet with different habits based in different areas of focus. So there is nutrition and workouts for sure, but there's also things like sleep. There's also things like stress, self-care. We try to make it very all-encompassing and well-rounded. And then these ladies basically, they just hit the ground running. We have these awesome habits to work on every day. We have a tally sheet. We can just check them off as we complete it. Super simple, one by one. And we also throw in like fun bonus challenges every week into our Facebook group that people can complete for just extra self-growth oriented activities. We have a live leaderboard where people can post their points and everyone can see kind of how everyone else is doing and kind of have like that fun competitive aspect to it. And the Facebook group is just full of tons of extra information and people posting their wins. And it's just a really cool kind of pretty much family that we've created with the challenge.
Yep, I love it. So Becca, I'm going to start with you with this first question. Before joining Evolve48, can you kind of tell us about some obstacles or struggles that you faced as a mom, as a woman going through your own fitness journey leading up to it, whether that was body image issues, kind of misinterpretation as far as your nutrition, your habits? Can you kind of tell us a little bit about what made you join Evolve and where you were at that time?
Yeah. So I have three little people under three. So I was pregnant and gained quite a bit of weight with my first daughter and couldn't lose weight breastfeeding. I just thought,
Oh, I think we got mute.
obviously,
There we go.
that I just wasn't eating enough when I was breastfeeding. And then I started to work out a little bit. I was done breastfeeding and I got pregnant with my two little ones. My husband keeps calling me. That's
Oh no.
They have impeccable timing.
Right. Yes, they do.
And
So my twin sister actually did coaching with you and tagged me in the Evolve Challenge, and just learning from talking to you and Candace that I just wasn't eating enough. I think I lost a majority of my weight in the reverse dieting phase. And I know when my two twins were really little, I definitely was not eating enough. I wanted to work out, so I was trying to work out, but just not feeling my body. And looking at myself in the mirror, I was super upset. I mean, I shouldn't be because I just had babies super close together, but
it's hard
so
watching our bodies changes as moms. It really
it
is.
is. Yeah.
Absolutely.
And so when I started the challenge and I finally started to see results, and obviously it's not just about the weight, but just to see me come back and be able to look at myself in the mirror and be like, oh, I do look good.
Oh, I love it so much. All right, Melissa, let's hear from you. Same question.
Oh, yeah. So a lot of what Becca had said was just my body image I wasn't happy with. I was severely under eating. And then I would get super discouraged. I would put in good workouts, but then not feed my body, and then nothing would change, or I would gain weight. So then it just led to a cycle of, it was just a vicious cycle, right? That everybody wants to diet and exercise and couple things go wrong and then you give up and throw in the towel and I'll start again Monday, and that it just never works. So I like that
There's a
the
lot of
challenge.
Mondays out there.
Absolutely. So it's like, oh, we're going out for
A
grilled
yo-yo
drinks.
cycle, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. So I like that it's a checks and balance, because with the sheets, which I don't ever post on Facebook, I super suck at that, but I have them printed off and then I go week by week. So just keeping that accountability really helps. And then just knowing that it is a check and balance. So if you go out to dinner with the girls, like you're like, oh, I've got 85 carbs to burn up. Like I can have a drink and dinner, right? So just having that balance for me was huge, because I would go super hard 2 weeks, not do any sugar, any dairy, none of the things I loved, which is not life. You can't live like that. You've got to have your pleasures, right?
Full fat
Um,
sour cream.
Yes. So
We all have something. We're like, I'm not giving this up. It's not
Right.
going to happen. We have to figure
Right.
out a
So-
way to make it work.
Yep. And then just you add kids into the mix and life. And so this is a really great way just to stay accountable and happy. And you can move forward week to week, because 1 week is not going to deter your progress, basically. So
And
Right.
that's the
It's all
one thing
about
we really try to
sustainability.
yes, sustainability for sure.
Yep. And we try to really promote in the Evolve48 challenge and with our one-on-one clients that it's not all or nothing. Like your fitness journey should never be all or nothing.
Right.
Like even
It's
if
a
you just get around
balance.
to getting your steps in for the day,
Right.
that's better than dwelling on the fact that you didn't hit the other 20 things you wanted to do for the day. Like
Exactly.
you just
I
need
can
to
say, oh,
yeah,
sorry.
just give yourself grace and give yourself kudos for the things that you did do, and not beat yourself up for what you didn't accomplish for the day, because no day is going to be perfect. That's just not
Right.
Absolutely.
realistic.
I mean, you can just drive yourself crazy, like, being hard on yourself and getting down on
Mhm.
yourself. And sometimes that's the reason why people give up, is because they're just not giving themselves that grace and that compassion. And they're expecting themselves to be like a robot, like perfect, right? But it's just
Right.
not possible.
Absolutely. So now with eating really well, like I feel like my day is consisted of eating all damn day long. Sorry, I know there's kids there. I'll keep it clean. But just the amount of
I don't
food
keep
when
it
you're-
clean for my kids. You're good.
Okay.
Stuff like
The amount of
nasty
food that you
food.
have to pack in a day, I'm like, good Lord, I need a cooler to bring all this.
Yeah. Yep.
But I'm sleeping like 9 to 10 hours a day. I'm not going to brag about it, but yeah, it's that good.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's so
So
awesome.
Yep. It's such a good feeling when you actually commit to eating, because it goes against everything that you're taught growing
Right.
up as far as fitness goes. Like to lose weight, you eat less and you do a ton of cardio. Like that's just what's ingrained to our brain.
yes.
Actually like go all in and say, all right, I'm going to eat this food. I'm going to do the things. And when you see the results from it, it's almost like this crazy, like, oh my gosh, this is like magical.
It's
It
like a
is.
180. It's like a
Thing
total
that-
perspective flip.
Yeah. And
Absolutely.
even
It
from
is.
like a coaching perspective, like I've been doing this for years and it's still crazy to me even that it works, but it does work.
Right.
It makes no sense, but it's reality. Like it's real.
Right. And then you learn how to tweak, like, okay, so for carb load, say you have white rice versus, I don't know, like your wheat toast or brown rice, you start to gauge once you're consistent enough, like, oh, I'm satisfied longer when I eat this type of carb versus
Right.
another. So
Yes.
that was mind blowing too. And then also, I'm a girl that loves good baked goods, right? So I won't be like, oh, I haven't had my 2 desserts Candace said I can have my week, right? She gave me a limit. So I'm like, no, you know what? I'm not going to waste it on that cheap piece of cake. Like I'm going to wait till the end of the week.
Right.
So then it was like, you gauge what's better for you and then like where you want to splurge basically, which is nice. So for me, that's a win.
And I love
Yep.
that like you've been able to find like these healthier options, because it's not like you like you said, like it's not like you have to be limited to those 2 sweets a week, right? Like
Right.
there are wholesome sweets, there are healthy options, like there are so many options we can choose from and have them regularly and not restrict ourselves.
Right, exactly. Like Simple Mills, the brownie
Yes.
chips or whatever they are.
I'm
My
telling
God.
you, those are my go-to.
Yes.
You should try the honey cinnamon ones if you haven't.
I've not, but I will. So
Oh my
it's a
gosh,
good
they're just
brand.
taste like a graham cracker from your childhood. It's amazing.
That sounds great. And the fact like they're made out of watermelon seeds, I'm like, who the hell thought of that?
Cashew, like grain free and like
Yeah.
coconut sugar. It's amazing. It's a great
Yeah.
brand.
Definitely.
Love it. All right, Steph, let's hear from you. Same question coming at us.
I think I forgot the question.
Essentially, before joining us and getting involved with us crazies over here, what was some of your biggest struggles that you struggled with?
So I've had about 20 years of some struggles, and mine actually started after I had my first son. He passed away when he was 8 weeks old. So some of the symptoms I was showing as depression.
Mhm.
And it took until, I think sometime in 2008. So this was 2003 that my son was born and passed away. And so it took until 2008, when my now 16-year-old was almost 2, before I was actually diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So chances are my sadness from losing my son was being treated as depression, because that's how it was showing through, and I was still in that postpartum time frame. And so I wasn't wrongly diagnosed, I just wasn't fully
Right.
diagnosed with what was going on. And then I had actually had my thyroid under control for a while, and then some anxiety and stuff hit back in, and the weight came back on, and it was just harder to control. And then I had back-to-back younger kids, and I actually had 3 back-to-back pregnancies with a miscarriage in between. And all of that combined just kind of, chokehold you. And during the pregnancy, they couldn't get my thyroid, under control this last time around. And so my thyroid's a big struggle for me, and weight, because I can work out, I can eat correctly, I can put in more calories, I can put in less calories, and then I just don't change. And prior to meeting you guys, for Jessica turning me on to you guys, I had started Noom with my mom to prepare for my wedding. But by the time you came into the picture, I had hit a roadblock. I wasn't getting to where I needed to be. And I had also noticed some changes through Noom, that they were giving too few calories. And I actually think somebody may have sued Noom because their calories went up by the time I finished with them. And working with Candace through the first challenge, and then with this one, I just actually flipped to the reverse diet, because we decided to just wait until I got back from my honeymoon. And believe me, you cannot, as there's all the tips in the world, you cannot stick to that while in Vegas. I'm just saying. There's not a lobster dinner, there's not a steak dinner, there's nothing there that will not make you go over. But I stayed pretty well in check with my activity levels and everything. So by the time I got back, so now in the reverse mode, I'm actually seeing that weight come back off that I did gain while I was there. But yeah, it's been, between my thyroid, and then I did just find out that despite my last test being too low, when they took me down to 6 days a week of medication, my thyroid is at the very, very high end of the normal range. So we're once again playing with medications, but it does explain why I'm feeling so blah lately.
Yeah.
And it's I'll tell you what, that thyroid is a butt kicker.
It's a combination, isn't it?
It's
the fatigue is crazy.
So, well, I thought I was just having some sort of jet lag. I couldn't kick it the entire time I was in Vegas. I just felt weird. I'd like get off the elevator and I'd still feel like the floor was moving and all kinds of stuff. And I couldn't put my finger on it. And so the change will just happen in this week. So I won't know for a little while if that's it might be towards the end of this challenge if I, notice a change with that. But, it's the learning the reverse diet, man, has been the fact that I get to eat more is just fan freaking tastic.
I know.
Like that
Boost
guacamole
the
just
quality of
calls my
life.
name. It is
Yeah.
1000%. So it's definitely, and then oh, you posted something the other day, maybe it was a week or so ago, about oils, cooking
Yeah.
oils. And I always cook with the olive oil because I'm in a Mediterranean household, so olive oil's always there.
Yeah.
So I actually went to Aldi yesterday, so I picked up some more coconut oil. And so I actually had that with my breakfast. I'm not gonna lie, my breakfast felt less greasy. It was just an egg on avocado toast. It wasn't anything, spectacular, but I feel like it was better. Maybe I'm in my own head.
I feel like there's a different consistency with the different type of oils.
It just seems
for
thinner.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's just thinner and I don't taste it, if that makes sense. And I'm not a coconut person, so I tend to, like my husband one time brought me Starbucks as a surprise and they were out of almond milk. And so he got me, I got away from soy a long time ago, and he, just because of the way it interacts with your thyroid. So I tried to, weed that out. And he brought it home and I was like, what'd you get in this? He was like, coconut milk. I was like, always just regular milk at that point. But thank you so much.
Not for everyone, for sure.
Funny how
No,
people are
it
with
changes changes your chestnut praline latte to something that you weren't expecting it to be. So, but yeah, so I did start back with the different oils and stuff this morning. So yeah, I mean, I tell you what, you guys have been a saving grace. I got into my wedding dress. I managed to
You look
keep
fabulous.
Oh, thank you. I worked very hard for that.
Oh my goodness. You're such an
I
amazing
couldn't wear
seller.
any undergarments.
Mhm.
So I had to, I had to go with, there was no room for Spanx. There was no room for anything in that
Get what you
dress.
get.
So I had to do it all on my own, and it scared the crap out of me.
Yeah. Well, you would
So-
never have known you looked fabulous from the pictures.
Thank you
that
so
I've
You
much.
did. Oh my
Appreciate it.
gosh.
Appreciate it.
Next question I have, we'll start with Becca again. One of the fun parts of the Evolve48 challenge is the bonus challenges that we throw in randomly throughout the week. My personal favorite, I am kind of an OCD person when it comes to like organization and clean things. And I've loved seeing the before and after pictures of the challenges where it was like, organize an area in your room or a drawer that you haven't looked at or something that's been bothering you in your house. And I absolutely was like in love with the before and after pictures, but I want to hear your guys' favorite bonus challenges that we're throwing in throughout your Evolve48 challenge.
So you took the words right out of my mouth. I am a clean freak, and I love my husband to death, but I call it strategically straightening up. So he puts toys and everything in little spaces so it looks clean, but it's not. So when I had that challenge, I started with a drawer, and then I just continued on to another drawer, and then the pantry and my closet, and I really enjoyed that one. The other one I really like is doing the nice things for other people. I'm in the nursing field, so I'm helping people all day long, and that's one thing I really like to do is help other people. And I just really enjoy the bonus challenge that it's not just one thing, it's all different things. And some of them are harder for me to participate in. Like if it's a hike, it's hard for me to take all three little people, especially because my two littles, one's walking, but not that well. But I mean, I think it's great to change it up. Even if I take them for a walk, it might not be a hike, but it's a walk. Or
Right. Yep.
so yeah, I think they're really, really fun.
Yeah. Awesome. How about you, Melissa?
Yeah, I agree. I like the organization. But my favorite was like call a friend and just talk, like just connect and make that time. So now I get on Zoom and we like have coffee, a few of us gals. And we have coffee in our house on our days off as if we were all together. So
Yeah.
that's a huge boost and like a support system because like, everybody has problems. So they're like, I'm super frustrated with my husband about this. And then we just bounce ideas off of each other, just connect, like share with the same frustrations, and then just have that support system. So that was my favorite.
And life
I love
gets
that
so
came out of
busy to
that.
where What was
Yeah.
that, Candace?
I just I love that's what came out of that challenge. That
I
little
know
challenge
a
that
Zoom
now.
meeting with
What a
coffee.
nice
So,
tradition.
I know it is now. So this is fun. I actually really enjoy this too. So
Yeah, it is
it's good.
fun. We get so busy with like every day-to-day life stuff that like we forget to just stop and connect with human beings as people. And I think
Right.
we all have good intentions, but unless we're like literally scheduling it into our day, which is weird to be like calling your friend and be like, hey, can we schedule dinner sometime? Like it's a
Right.
meeting.
To a
but you have to,
conversation.
because
You
you're
have to, and then put it in your planner. Yeah.
exactly. Yeah. How about you, Steph? Favorite challenge?
Oh, I can't even remember what they all are. I know I've had a few of them. Some of them have been like the poster recipe
Yeah.
Mhm.
challenge
one.
because I
You always have good
absolutely,
ones.
yeah, I absolutely enjoy cooking. It's literally, it makes me so happy. I know you guys keep talking about the organizational challenge. I'm OCD too. The problem is I'm also ADHD.
Mhm.
And those two things clashed so hard. And
Girls
so,
ain't getting nothing done.
no, I've got 75 projects started at my
Yep.
house and it looks like a bomb went off. So,
Oh, I get it.
so I'm constantly living in that challenge.
Yep.
I really wanted to get to it, but that ADHD took over. And I'm like, no, I'm going to get to my side table. And it did not happen. It collected more stuff.
Right.
So I'm in the middle of trying to relive some of these challenges just for my own sake, because I absolutely adore the challenges. It makes it more of a well-rounded focus on you, not just fitness, not just eating,
Right.
but you and your life and your kids. It was funny because the hiking one didn't happen while I was in Vegas, but so I did Vegas when I was 22. So I got drunk in Vegas and I had the time of my life. This time around, at 41, we went to Death Valley, California. We hiked in Death Valley. We went to Hoover Dam, did all that. We hiked the Grand Canyon. So this challenge actually came after I did all that. So, which is actually spurring us to, in a couple of years, move out west because, well, Ohio is terrible. As you can see in my car, it's raining and we have the hurricane from Florida currently hitting us. But yeah, I mean, I can't, other than the cooking ones, I can't specifically remember some of the challenges, but I think they're great that, even you get to now Zoom with your friends I have something similar on Instagram in a group chat, and every now and then we'll call each other when we have time and just sit there, and because calling people just isn't, I think that went by the wayside with texting and video chat.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, don't call me. What are you talking about? We don't do that.
Or at least forewarn me what you're calling about.
Yeah, I'm like, if you're not saved in my phone, I'm definitely not answering. And then even then, I'm kind of like,
Probably
do we
not.
really need to
Case by
chat, or
case basis.
or could this be solved in an email, text message, something? So
Yep.
definitely antisocial these days. And
It's hard to
and
get out of that
COVID
bubble.
had nothing to do with it. COVID shutting things down just made my introvert a very happy person.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, yes, I have to stay home. Darn,
Oh, darn it. Hate it.
I know. So,
Okay, I'm going to ask one last question before we wrap this up. This has been absolutely awesome to talk to you guys and just chat. How has Evolve48 Challenge been different than other programs that you've tried in the past, whether they were paid programs or free things you did online? What's made this so special to you guys?
I
Let's
started
start with
out
Becca.
with when I was younger, in my early 20s, I started out with Beachbody. And it was great. I lost 30 pounds, but there was the thing where it was restricting on what you could eat. You had the same workouts every single day. So I lost weight, but I really wasn't gaining muscle And then I started working night shift as nursing, and it just kind of all went out the window, and I gained everything back. And I've also heard other people doing the ones where you cut the sugar out. What is that, Whole30? You cut
Yeah.
carbs out, and I know, and they, it's the same thing. They start gaining the weight right back. And at work, everyone's like, "What are you doing? You look great." And they're like, "Are you cutting this out?" And I'm like, "I'm not cutting anything out. Like, this program is great. I can eat what I want. I'm just, making sure I'm following my macros." And, my kids are watching me eat everything. They're watching me work out. I'm gaining muscle. I'm happier. I'm got more energy because I'm not cutting anything out. So it's been an eye opener that you can eat what you want. You don't have to work out all the time super hard, but just working out 3-4 days a week is sufficient. Going for more walks is super important. Just getting those steps in, and it's sufficient for life. And that's really what has been the most enjoyable thing for these challenges, is that I can continue this forever. I don't have to cut anything out and start getting the weight back because I want a beer. I want some chips. I want something that you would think you'd have to cut out. So I am very appreciative to you guys that I've learned so much and can continue this and teach my kids healthy habits.
I want to definitely highlight the fact that your kids are able to watch you still enjoy things that you enjoy. It's crazy how much our kids watch us and think about what we're doing and why we're doing it. And if they're constantly seeing us beat ourselves up and, saying like, "Oh no, I can't have that. I'm on a diet. And like, that's what they hear, then they automatically assume that like, that's what they should be doing because that's what mom does. And they look up to us so much.
Right.
So like, truly, like, I give you so much kudos to seeing that and knowing that what you're doing for your kids is a healthier version than what used to be, and saying like, no, I can't have sugar. I can't eat this. I can't eat that. Carbs are bad. Like, it's just not realistic. And there's so much misleading information that kids get from influencers on Instagram, YouTube, school. Like, I'm nervous to see where our kids are in 20 years when it comes to their own body image, just because of everything out there now, that it's so nice to hear,
Yeah.
moms like you
So
that are doing
distorted.
things a healthy way, and showing
Yeah.
them that, you don't need to be a size 0 to be happy. You don't need to do anything crazy to be healthy and happy and live a good life. It's just a matter of holding yourself to your own goals, your own morals, your own choices in life, and be able to enjoy them and enjoy them with your family. So I really, truly love that answer. Thank you.
Yeah. Like, I was seriously so happy just listening to that. Like, I think just like you're being such an amazing role model, like as someone that, I did grow up with like seeing that social media and like the unrealistic like images and things we see portrayed out there. Like, that is why I went through almost a decade of disordered eating. So it just made me so happy to hear that like your kids are going to be able to see that every day. And like, it just highlights another like amazing thing about like committing to yourself and learning all this information. Like, it's not just benefiting you, you can share it with your kids and your family and your loved ones and your friends, and it's just like this whole domino effect. So I'm super proud of you, Becca. You've done so well.
It's my favorite thing when I go to work out and my daughter like, "Mama, you work out? I work out too." And she's got her own little set of weights and she grabs
That
them.
kills me. Oh my gosh, that is so adorable.
And it's like, I've even struggled with this as a parent myself. There's just a way that Americans eat, and even in our like school system and everything like that, that it's not healthy, but it's normal. So when we start kind of picking and choosing what we want to indulge in and what we don't want to, I've even second guessed myself on like, ooh, maybe I shouldn't explain this to the kids. But then I like snap out of it. I'm like, no, they should know that they have the opportunity to make these decisions. And it's okay if they truly do want to have a cookie, like, great, like, go have your cookie, but you also don't need to eat a cookie and then 3 other desserts in the same sitting. You know what I mean? Like, there has to be some sort of education, but empowering them to make that choice, right? Like, we don't want to guilt trip them or make them feel bad about it. It's more so just like educating them and being their role model for it. Like, yeah, see, I have Oreos too, and you eat an Oreo, but we don't need to constantly
Live off
eat
Oreos.
sugar or, yeah. And unfortunately, like, and I'm sure you guys have possibly ran into this, when you do start bettering your health and your diet, people make comments and they're like, oh, you're just eating all healthy now. It's like, yeah, I am, because I want to respect my body and I have goals. And sometimes it's hard to stand up to those people. And it's just, majority of the time it's a reflection of them, and they're actually looking up to you right now and saying like, gosh, I wish I could have that willpower and have those goals that she has. But they just come off in a really negative way by saying things that how they say it, if that makes sense.
I fire back in the same way, like when people comment when you're pregnant on your weight. Somebody was like, oh my God, you're so big. When are you due? I was like, I just ate a watermelon seed. I don't know what you're talking about. And the looks on their faces, they're like, seriously? I'm like, no, like you're that person. But when the comments that from some people that have come since I've lost some weight and things like that, just because you get kind of tired of hearing it, as well-meaning as it can be, I'm like, wow, how fat was I before? Like, just curious. Like, I'm like, okay, I must have looked terrible. I thought I looked good, just chunkier. So yeah, no, it's I don't know. I just feel like maybe as a society, we just focus a little too much on some look. You wanting to change yourself and look differently because you want to change yourself and look differently. That's one thing.
Yeah.
Society having an opinion on it, totally different. So I don't know, maybe I just am from an era where I watched my mom change all the food to light, low fat crap in my house. And, you know, when you stand there, suck it in. And it just, those things kind of stick with you,
Oh yeah.
you know, 40 years later. So yeah, it's to have your kids notice, you know, positive things is always, my kids don't notice anything because they're boys and they all like dinosaurs, and unless I'm a dinosaur, it doesn't matter. So
The other thing that's hard is, and I even have to catch myself sometimes, for people like, I don't really know what they're doing to change their body, how it's changing, but sometimes it can almost feed into somebody's eating disorder. Like if they've lost a lot of weight, like, oh my gosh, you look great. They're like, well, crap, now I'm getting this positive reinforcement for my negative behavior. I'm going to keep at it. And same goes for people going through health journeys of their own. Like sometimes it does require them to gain weight to get to a healthier body. And if people are making comments, or it's such a hard place to be, to comment on someone's body, even if you have the most genuine intentions for it. So I think, you know, commenting on, you know, their energy being more vibrant, or, you know, a new set of clothes that they bought, because obviously they're more confident to go out and buy these clothes and go outside their comfort zone of style. Like I feel like that's so much more valuable than being like, gosh, you lost a lot of weight, you look great. Like, yeah, I've also haven't eaten 3 days. Like
I want to share a story with you guys of a girl that I've been friends with since middle school. She's not in this challenge or anything like that. She was skinny in high school, not like an eating disorder or anything. She was just naturally skinny. She was a majorette, you know, she was active, all that kind of stuff. And then sometime between high school graduation, 2 kids, marriage, divorce, all of that, she put on a lot of weight. She seemed very, very happy. I didn't ask questions because I grew a filter somewhere, and if you have something you want to share it. That's just not kind to start prodding. Anyways, this past August, so August 2021, she actually had gastric bypass. She did a lot of stuff to try and lose weight. She was not getting the results either she was hoping or expecting, I'm not sure. And in the last year and couple months, she's lost over 100 pounds. She looks really nice. She's doing what she's supposed to. She's eating her portions and stuff like that. But we had a friend's Halloween, Hocus Pocus Halloween party a couple weeks ago. And she commented after this guy that she was seeing left. She said, I don't know what people are seeing anymore when they look at me. So somewhere in that process, as great as she looked, she's lost herself and she's lost her identity. And she paints a smile on her face and you think that she's happy. So to the point of the eating disorder point, and that's not where she's at, but it's still a struggle in her mind because now she doesn't know why people are with her. Are they with her because of who she is? Are they with her because she looks good? She still sees herself as the fat girl, you know, that kind of stuff. And it just goes to show that it's more body weight, body image, eating habits, and things like that tend to be more than just on the surface as to what they look like. And so anyway,
100%.
sorry. I just thought I'd share that. So
So,
No,
and I
that's a
think,
great point. We never do
so
know
true.
what people are going through in life. So that's great that you shared that.
be kind to everyone.
Yes.
Yeah.
100%.
everybody with a little bit of grace.
Absolutely. I agree. I do love that this program is, it's so cliche. Like, it's a lifestyle, you know, I eat good and I work out. It's like a new lifestyle, but no, it really is. Like,
It's true.
you pick what you want to splurge on. You know, you have to be held accountable. Like, sure, I can eat all the broccoli and chicken and rice, but also I've got to work out. So everything goes hand in hand. Everything is a full picture. Whereas other programs that I've done, like I've done the whole 30, had success with that. 31 days later, right? It's not the same program. You're not held accountable anymore. There's no community involved. Same with like Ideal Protein. I lost a lot of weight with that. And then once that challenge was over, it was right back to my same bad habits. So this is sustainable and it truly is a lifestyle, even though that sounds so cliche to say.
Well, I think the community part of it is what has helped.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not just here, you're going to do this, like Becca was saying with Beachbody. And I feel like we've all been there with Beachbody at one point in our lives.
Right. Oh, yeah.
It's like Mary Kay or Avon. And it, you know, I feel like this is something that's sustainable. I will say, Sierra, one of the really great things about these programs is I can have a date with my husband. I can have pizza, I can have Chinese, I can do the old person version of Netflix and chill, which is literally Netflix and chill. But I don't feel bad. I don't feel like I just wrecked everything. I got to throw in the towel.
You got to start over.
Start again on Monday.
Right.
Yeah, I don't feel like that. I feel okay. I do sleep better. I don't get to sleep 9-10 hours, but that's because
my kids are grown. They're older.
Well,
so
my 16-year-old has to be up by 5:30, and if I don't get up to get him up, he will miss the bus. And we don't live anywhere that he can walk. So, so there's that. So yeah, so my day starts way sooner than that, but I do look forward to those days.
Right.
They're nice. I miss them. But yeah, you've created a very sustainable program, and you know, Candace has been phenomenal support. You all have been, and that's one real nice thing about this program is that we can all touch base.
Yes, I appreciate that. Yep.
Absolutely.
And one thing that I love too that you kind of touched on, Steph, is, you know, I've done programs myself. I know Candace has done some programs, and obviously all the women that we've worked with, they tell us about the past programs that they've worked with, and if they've worked with coaches, and I think it depends on the person's personality for sure, but I think some coaches take the approach of, like I said earlier, the all or nothing, and that makes people feel guilty and sometimes not open and honest with their coaches about what really happened. Like maybe they had a night and they couldn't follow their protocols, but instead of telling their coach that, they feel too guilty to say it. And they end up either falling off completely or hiding it. And then they have this built up guilt. And like one thing that we truly want for our clients is to let them know, like, it's never all or nothing. Like, do the best that you can. Shit's going to happen. We're all human beings, and you shouldn't dwell on that. If you just dwell on it, you're going into this nasty binge and restrict cycle, whether it's mentally or physically. I mean, either way, you're holding back and then hopefully coming out of it. And then one thing goes wrong again, and you're going to come back to that reverse and hold it all in and feel that guilt. And I know so many people go through that with different programs, but it's one thing that we truly want for our clients is just to know that we understand if things don't go as planned, and we're here to be a resource for you as well and help you overcome that. And it's hard sometimes to be vulnerable and talk about those feelings, but those feelings are real. And I could strongly say that at least 99% of us women have felt that way. Whether it's things that we don't talk about publicly and just kind of in our own mindset, these goals that we don't achieve, or if it is something public and we don't achieve them, we have almost this like embarrassment, and it shouldn't be that. Like, we're all humans. And if you're not striving for something great and you're not failing, you're not setting your goals high enough. And
Right.
to me, those aren't failures. Those are just little bumps in the road that allow you to kind of readjust and figure out what can you do differently to overcome that next time.
Right.
That's so true.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And
So
like,
before we wrap this up, is there anything anyone else wants to say in regards to the challenge, working with Evolve, to each other? Open floor here.
No, I've enjoyed working with all of you guys immensely, like getting to know everybody from the past challenge to this one, and and just having the support. The support has been phenomenal.
Right. And you guys take the work out of it for us. Like, you tell us where our macros need to be, and then give
Yeah, I
us
appreciate that.
videos with workouts, and then how to check your form. That is so helpful. Like, you literally just make it to where all we have to do is just have the motivation to get up and complete it. So that's very helpful.
Love it. Well, ladies, I appreciate you guys all joining. We definitely need to do this again soon, because this was super
yes,
fun.
Yes,
absolutely.
So
Well,
nice to
coffee
talk to
next
you.
time.
Yes, we can definitely
We'll
get
all bring our
Cheers.
coffee.
Maybe a wine night. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Coffee, wine, vodka.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Baileys and hot chocolate in the winter.
There you
do some
go.
fun.
Even better.
Awesome. Well, you guys have a fabulous Friday, fabulous weekend, and we will see you soon.
All right.
Great,
Thank you.
thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye,
Bye.
ladies.